Alright, so for this video, here is the gear setup. We're going to go with a pretty budget setup. I seem to, notice a lot of players use this setup at Scorpia, so we should only be risking about 287k if I die, and most of that money is just in food and potions. What is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and today I bring you loot from 1000 buffed Scorpia. Recently, they increased the profit here per hour, plus they added some new drops to the drop table, and since I'm 2,000 kills dry of the pet from this boss, let's go ahead and kill another 1,000 today. We're going to be making some money, obtain the pet, hopefully, do some clues, and survive. That is the biggest part, because there's a lot of PKers here, and it is multi-combat, so wish me luck. There's the 2,000 kills that I mentioned earlier, collection log, still no pet. I'm not sure how accurate those shards were, but the last time that I killed Scorpia was 5 years ago, and as you can see on screen here, those shards used to be a lot of money. That's right, the malediction was at 1.3 mil, and the odium was 900k, and that was 5 years ago, but killing 1,000 back then meant that you would on average make about 10 mil due to those shards being included in the price check. And if you're curious as to what the normal drops used to be on Scorpia before this update, here is the normal drops from that 1,000 kill video from 5 years ago, and keep in mind they never got buffed even since back then. Now, as bad as those items were, and thankfully they are no more, that did also add up to about 10 mil. So yeah, 5 years ago, 1,000 Scorpia made 10 mil from the rares and 10 mil from the normal drops, but we all know today that the rares these days in 2024 are certainly not worth that much compared to what they used to be. That's right, surprisingly, they are down to 50k a piece, so we are definitely not going to be making much money at all from the rare drop table here. We are going to be testing out the new normal drop table though, and hopefully we'll make more than I did 5 years ago, but we're going to see. These first 10 kills are pretty impressive as it goes for the normal drops, but before we continue, this video is brought to you by Creator Crafted. Creator Crafted's winter sale is almost over, but all products are still discounted on the site. Plus, for you guys, if you use discount code Mr. No Sleep, you will get an additional 10% off at checkout. These new LED RuneScape signs are available for pre-order, but slots are limited. My favorite of these signs would definitely be the Spectral Spirit Shield, since I love the color purple and it's very nostalgic. And check out this Infernal Cape sign. I don't have one in-game, but nothing can stop me from obtaining one for the real world. Creator Crafted also has 3 new mousepad designs with pre-order available, and the ergonomic design and large size guarantees not only smooth mouse movements, but also ample space for your keyboard and your mouse to be comfortable. So the real question is, what are you waiting for? Grab an exclusive Creator Crafted LED sign using the link in the description below. They are effortless to set up and install, and remember to use code Mr. No Sleep to save an additional 10% off by using the link in the description below. And a huge thank you to Creator Crafted for sponsoring today's video. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So, we are 11 kills in, got some Dragon Javelin heads. I love those drops, reminds me of Demonic Gorilla drop table. Rune Kite shields as well, some Grimy Dwarfweed, which is really beneficial for Iron Men, and we do also get Blighted Super Restore drops, as well as so many other things that I'll be going over. But yeah, I got 20 kills in my first inventory, which came out to be about 522k. Looking at the chat box there, looks like Chaos Ellie got updated too. Many different wilderness bosses got updated, and I will be covering them all shortly. But 1,000 kills is no joke. This took me like 3 days on and off. So as it goes for like my max kills per hour with this current setup, it was about 50 to 55. But again, that does go down if you get interrupted by PKers. But I love this setup. It's very functional. You have the monk robes for that prayer bonus and the miter as well, and you get decent DPS with all of the my plus ones like the occult necklace, as well as the tormented bracelet and the max cape imbue. So they did leave the dragon scimitar on the drop table, which I'm really glad they did. That was one of the only good drops back before this got updated, so that stayed. And they also included a dragon 2H, which is about 130k, but it's 1 in 128, which is very similar to like the mystic robe top, the mystic robe bottom, which we haven't gotten yet, but I've definitely acquired quite a bit of those in this video. So all I can say about the new drop table is it's very good. I just wish they would have done it sooner. I hate to sound ungrateful there, but I've grinded this thing 2,000 times, and you guys already saw the normal normal drops from 5 years ago, they were really bad. The only reason to ever kill this boss, I would say, would be for the pet. Even the clue scroll rate isn't that great, so didn't really get too many hard clues during this one. I think I ended up with about 4, but we did end up saving all the caskets for the end. And it wasn't too long until we saw our first rare drop, if you want to consider it a rare, which is the Odium Shard 3. These are just used to make that range shield, the Odium Ward. It's just one piece of that, so that's why it's not worth that much money these days. But it does bring us 1 kill away from 100 kills into the video. 10% of the way there. First impressions, since there's been no PKers thus far, is that this is a very good update, and now when you want to go pet hunting in the wilderness, you can be assured that you're going to make some good profit pretty much everywhere you go, including Scorpia. And I guess I jinxed myself. Here's our first PK. We're going to try to get the freeze on him since he's alone, but you want to be careful throwing that ice barrage in case someone shows up and then you get scolded by accident, because I of course have that setting turned off, but I have to have it turned off if you want to anti-PK correctly, or at least survive correctly. So yeah, this is what I was doing. These 2 noobs with rune boots, I don't know what's going on, but 2 AGSs shouldn't be too hard. Let's get a clump there, and we should use the resource area because I doubt they have access, and we log out. Yeah, what you saw there, that's just how I do it every single time, and if it's not that, if for some reason the wilderness resource area isn't working out, that's why I have the lockpick. Sometimes I try the lockpick first, but usually all these PKers bring a lockpick for the axe hut, so that escape route isn't the best, which is why I love the wilderness resource area. And if you do get gap, which I have on this guy, then it's just so much easier to get away. But when there's a team, or at least a clan I should say, the odds are much harder to escape, so that's why you just have to be careful when you're throwing ice barrages. Make sure you switch to blitz if some people start logging in, and as long as you see that the person has attacked you first, then you can feel free to ice barrage them, you know, as much as you want. I would say this is a more stickier situation than the ones before, but the Phoenix necklace is equipped. That should save us if we really need it, but we're getting 1 HP'd quite a bit here. Luckily it got into the resource area, and I really thought that guy with the rune crossbow would have time to attack me, but he did not, so we have still not died. Hope you guys are proud of me. You know, I'm not that great at PKing. I would always say I'm better at surviving than PKing, because the way I see it, surviving, you only have to focus on yourself, but fighting, you know, you got to focus on yourself and of course your opponent, so it's a little bit stressful. But on the side, I was also playing on some other accounts. You know, Scorpia is mostly laid back, especially if there's no one bothering you. Here we are, 200 kills into the video. I've been working on my total level on my 20 defense pier, trying to make some future videos on that account for you guys, just to switch it up from the Iron Man and the main account. So I did a lot of motherlode mining, and alongside that on the Iron Man I did a lot of enchantings. So a lot of AFK things going on in the background while we're getting this 1000 Scorpia grind done. But it didn't take me that long to feel comfortable with, you know, 600k looting bags at a minimum before I banked, and sometimes I'd even go up to 900k. I think my biggest looting bag in this video was 900k multiple times. Usually I didn't want to go over that because, you know, it's multi, and that would be when my supplies would usually be running low, so it'd be a good time to bank. And there's 300 kills into the grind. 700 left to go. Still no pet. I think we got 1 clue scroll so far. That's a hard clue, not an elite, unfortunately. There's a Malediction Shard 3, though. I guess I was wrong when I said 50k, but yeah, I quickly got the log out on that guy standing at the lever. Scary. And then this guy, Wawa Stick. I'm a fan of Wawa. It's a gas station some places in America, and they have good macaroni and chicken, but not a big fan of this guy's team. A lot of welfare guys, and you would think because their gear's not the greatest that I would survive. You know, the chances are better for me, but actually I feel like the people that PK in welfare in small teams are better at PKing than the people that PK with, you know, more expensive gear and bigger teams. I know that might not make sense, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of these PKing clans are the ones in the welfare, and they're just, they know when to time things better. You know, one of them had an Arceus spellbook, you know, casting on me. I don't know what was going on, but I died twice by them. Very upsetting. That was between 300 and 400 kills. So the first 300 kills pretty quiet, 300 to 400 not so much, but we are still progressing. No pet yet, but that's all I want. I decided to bring a bulwark for a time, but I feel like it actually kind of cursed me. You know, you're putting on too much tank, so the game's not going to be as generous to your RNG, so I ended up banking it after it failed me later on, but it did, you know, succeed in tanking at least one time, so that's good. But yeah, just continue to get a ton of Dragon two-handers here, and one thing I realized that about 490 kills into the video, my Sang staff officially went through 20,000 blood runes. So we can just overestimate here and say that 500 kills at Scorpia with a Saying Staff will take about 20,000 blood runes, which means, of course, 1,000 kills will take about 40,000 blood runes. So that, alongside our ice packs in the bottom of the inventory there to use Ice Barrage, is really only the supplies that we're using for this. Other than that, it's just super restores, but you get those back as a drop, so anyway, we'll factor all that in the end. Here's a team. They are more friendly than others, but they brought that Dragon Spear. Definitely slows me down in my tracks, so good fight, gentlemen. It is what it is. I did run the opposite way. My camera angle was wrong for this here fight, but I ended up getting away from this solo PKer by the Chaos Ellie, and then I logged back into the same world because I thought, it's been 5 minutes, he's probably gone, but he wasn't, so he tried to kill me again, but he failed both times, so that's good. Either way, though, this is what you can expect if you do want to go kill Scorpia. I wasn't actually using the 2200 total level worlds as much as people think I would. I was actually using the LMS world for US, whatever that would be for the week. I think it was 580 American LMS world this week, so that's what I went with because it's all the way at the bottom and most people just skip it, and for the most part it worked out, but then people, I guess, started to assume what world I was in. Because, I got a lot of PKers some hours of the day. So it really just depends. But I would recommend LMS worlds unless you're watching this video. Probably not. I don't know. Just choose whatever world you want for Scorpia. There's so many different ones to choose from. But always stay on point with your concentration. Playing on multiple accounts definitely can make your eyes look from screen to screen, account to account. And it only takes one freeze inside this room and then you're really in trouble. So that's why anytime I see a PKer, I always try to escape as quickly as possible. Because the further you get away, the better the odds are. But either way, 700 kills into the video so far, stacking up all these new drops that they added to the drop table. Really beneficial loot for any account. Playing on an Iron Man myself, I would definitely see myself killing the Scorpia on my Iron Man now, thanks to these new resource drops. There's another shard. Alright guys, so you tell me, what would you do in this situation? This person is 1 HP. They just got hit a 19 by poison, so I was like, alright, let me go ahead and go for that barrage real quick. And of course, the second I do, they start eating, so good skull trick, maybe? And there's another Odium shard. I will take that. And that leads us to 800 kills into the video so far. 200 kills remaining, and then we are done. I did get attacked by this guy who just was using a dragon crossbow. He had no team. At least I thought so at first, but then a major showed up, so don't mind my in-game commentary, though. I was losing it. All right, another looting bag being deposited into the bank. 815K from that one. We're at 1.7 mil just in GP so far, so that's awesome that they added coins to the drop table. I was trying my very best to get away from this guy, but he brought seeds, he brought a lockpick, and he also had the Wilderness Diaries done so he could enter the area. So it was very hard to escape, not to mention I had swapped from super restores to prayer pots, so eventually I couldn't freeze him anymore with the tree, and he did kill me. Props on all the effort, though. That was a lot went into that kill, but I was just escaping people. The last 200 kills of this video were brutal, especially the last 100. I don't even know what was going on. I finished this video at around 7 p.m. tonight, and now it's 9:40 p.m. So I guess I can say that those are peak hours for people to be PKing at Scorpia. If you want a lot of private time, I would say, or quiet time, I should say, probably come here in the morning. That's usually when the pet hunters come here with their 10 accounts and get the pet in no time, compared to solo players like myself who just continue to die by these groups of PKers, struggling to get my pet alone in the dark, deep wilderness. And I'm not against bringing an alt here. I mean, I could have brought my Iron Man or even my 20 defense peer to help me out, speed up these kills, but I didn't. So I recommend you do. That's all I can say about that. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to a close here. Do you guys think I'm going to get the pet in the next 4 kills? We got the Odium shard there, so just 1 kill left to go, and no pet this time around either. It's the same story 5 years ago. 3,000 KC at Scorpia. I mean, I guess that's impressive to somebody. I don't know who, but let's go ahead and price check all these goodies. We got a lot of great stuff, guys. Look at this drop table. So much better than what it was before. So many useful herbs and gems and ore, and you guys know the rest. 7 sets of blue mystics, 733 blighted anglers, 200 super restores, and decent onyx tips too. 10 dragon two-handers. Overall price check 28.3 mil. All right, now we're going to withdraw all the rares, the coins, and the clues. We did manage to get 5 odiums and 4 maledictions, as well as 1.85 mil cash. So that's about 2.3 mil overall from that price check, which means that we made roughly the overall loot comes out to be 30.6 6 mil from 1,000 buffed Scorpia. Not too bad at all. 7.5 mil spent in supplies, 23 mil profit, over 1 mil an hour, plus the chance to receive a pet. So not bad overall. 4 hard clues, which we'll go ahead and spam open now. Didn't get anything from them, unfortunately, but an additional 900k. And that's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, the Runelight tracker only was able to track about 805 kills. For some reason, on my first 195, my PC turned off and my Runelight lost it, so that's upsetting. Also, a reminder to check that link in the description and use code MrNoSleep to save an additional 10% off at Creator Crafted. But overall, the proof is there, and yeah, check out Scorpia. Much better drops for you guys now, and you can get that pet if you're lucky, unlike me. All right, a big thank you to all of the channel members for your monthly support. Got a lot of new KBD tiers recently, so thank you for that. And a big shout out to Angel's Blood, DeceptionZ, and XXoticX for the additional support. Until next time, Mr. No Sleep out.